Hello everyone, my name is SiC. Welcome back to Factorio Space Age. So today I want to finally finish setting up our Aquila rocket and hope that it makes it. But one more thing that we need to do is we need to make rocket turrets, and for that we need carbon fiber. And I had a little quick check, and thankfully it's not hard to make. We just need carbon and we need a Yumiko mash. So Yumiko mash, of course, just comes down the belt over here. And we have plenty of it. We could siphon off a little bit more over here, I guess. Though we also have this area over here, where it is barely being used because we are full up on ore. And we have a whole belt of this carbon over here as well. So really all we need to do is set up a little production area where we can make the what's it called? Carbon fiber. It takes 10 seconds in total, but 5 seconds just to make it. So yeah, because it also needs to make the Yumiko mash, I guess, in this recipe. And we need to make it in the biochambers, of course, like everything on this planet. We need to make it there. So nutrients and pentapod eggs, I'll make a couple and I'll make a little design and I'll be right back. Well, I made a little design and this one should be foolproof. We have spoilage inserters at the ends of both of these lines. Here we have spoilage coming out of these machines and being transported back onto this belt where we are turning them into nutrients and stuff. And we basically have our output for the fiber wire. What was it called again? Carbon fiber, right. And so now all we need to do is we need to send that over in this direction so that we can send it into space. So I'll run this line all the way over there and then I'll be right back. We have finished our research queue in the meantime, and with that it's time to research something new, and I guess maybe this time we'll do the Spidertron, because that will be pretty awesome, I think. And what do we need for that? Radars, rocket turrets, portable fission reactors, raw fish and 4 exoskeletons. That is quite the list, but hey, that'll be interesting at least. Yeah. So meanwhile I have arrived on our platform, which is running, but we also need some recyclers. So I'm going to go ahead and send this thing to Fulgora for this moment. We're going to get the recyclers, we're going to finish setting this up, and also in the meantime I have made sure that our Gleba rocket here requests 500 carbon fiber from Gleba, and it is going to dump it into Nauvis, where it is being requested by our cargo landing pad and being dumped into this chest right here. And with that, I think we will be able to make rocket turrets automatically here once I set that up. But first we need to be in Fulgora. So let's see, the Aquila rocket, I will be there. I will drop to the planet automatically. Leave this thing here or there for the time being, and then yeah, I'll be right back again. Well, as it turns out, the recyclers actually don't work on the Aquila rocket, but while I was here I decided I needed to fix our holmium solution problem, because we were not getting enough holmium solution, and essentially the production of our supercapacitors had grinded down to a halt. And with that also our research would no longer be flowing, so that had to be fixed. Meanwhile though, on the Aquila rocket, yeah, I fixed this because we were just getting carbon over here and that was not the solution that we needed. Instead, however, what we need to do is we need to build a bunch of these chemical plants, and there we have coal synthesis. And for that we need 1 sulfur, 5 carbon and 10 water, and it will make coal. So we're going to make a little design for that, and then I'll be right back. Spidertrons are now researched, and I guess we'll move on to the next Nauvis research. I guess we'll do tool belt, because why not, right? Maybe we'll do captivity as well, because that's going to be interesting. The capture robot, the biter eggs and nutrients from biter eggs. Oh, that's so interesting. We have to use that for something, I guess, but I'm not sure what quite yet. In the meantime, Planet Discovery Aquila, actually maybe that is the one that we should research next, because that is where we want to go to, right? So it would make sense for us to be able to actually go there once the ship is finished. In the meantime though, I set up a little production area for rocket launchers and then the rocket turrets. So yeah, these need to be sped up a little bit. As you can see though, I've made it back to Aquila. Sometimes it's easier to do things from the map actually. There we go. We'll do it like this, I guess. I limited these to one slot because we are not going to need a ton of these, but in the meantime, yeah, rocket turrets are being made. So we have a rocket capacity of 10, so we have a little ways to go, but that is perfectly fine. So I might actually just copy another one over here, because why not, right? There we go, and this is not copied yet, but that's fine. We'll do it like that, and this will then be made. And then of course we want to have 2 speed modules put in, and then that is perfect. Alright, so with that done, we could make the Spidertron, but what do we need for that? Raw fish, portable fission reactors. Yeah, that's the thing. I haven't made those yet, I think. Or have I? This is the portable fission reactor. Oh yeah, it's okay, we can make that, that's no problem. Raw fish, portable fission reactors, exoskeletons, radars and rocket turrets. Interesting. Alright, so we could set those up as well, and we can make a little army of Spidertrons, and we'll do a little setup with robots like this that we have over there, but we'll do it somewhere over here, I suppose, because why not? I'll set it up and then I'll be right back. And here we have a little production facility for the portable fission reactors, the exoskeletons, and finally the Spidertron, which honestly I've never even built before, so this is, for me, it's the first time, which is just really cool. There we go. Arachnophilia. Alright, so we can enter this thing and just walk around, and this is, right now, it's not really an upgrade yet, but this thing also has an equipment slot, I think. Indeed it does, and we can fill this up with portables and like power stuff and all of that, so we can make this thing really, really fast as well, and it just looks cooler than this little suit that we have right here, so I'm going to do that. And with the Spidertron taken care of, it's time to start using this stuff for real as well. And for that we are going to have to take out some iron plates, which are not being used. Actually, we can just kind of drag this one out in this direction, right? Doesn't really matter where we're going with this, I suppose. Though I guess we can make it over here for ease of use. So we'll go ahead and drag this out this way. As you can see, we need to wait a little bit for this material to be brought over, but that's okay. What's the easiest way to get there? I suppose it's down over here. We don't need those. And we're going to go sideways, like so. And then finally we're going to make a little production area here. So let's just say we're going to go like so. We'll make 5 of these, and these are going to be making rockets. It's a very basic recipe, but we can make a little bit better rockets than we have right here. How much do we need of these actually? 2 iron plates, 1 explosive, so we can kind of double these up, I guess. Though this is, okay, it's like that. Alright, so if we go like this, that will be fine. So we can go up, like so. And then we'll drag this down over here. Have some inserters, of course, and with that we are now making rockets. Right, and we can make further things with this, because the next stage of this stuff is basically just explosive rockets. For that we need explosives and rockets, so we are making those already. What we can do here is we'll put a split or an inserter, we'll put a filter for explosives. There we go. At the end of the belt there. And we can go like so again. And then we'll make a little production area right about here, I guess. Right. And with that we'll make explosive rockets. Output these, and then those need to go onto our ammo belts. Just like so. That's going to be perfectly fine. These could use speed modules, I guess, or productivity modules, either or, though I guess these are better. So we'll go like that. And we can still expand this one a little bit as well. So let's go ahead and do that. And go for maximum production here. All right. And there we go. So now we are making rockets. And definitely we want some speed things in here. So let's go ahead and put some of those. And with that we now have rockets on the belt. And so we also have some of these put in here. And now we should really make some target priorities. So what we will do is we will basically make sure that this thing only targets big or huge metallic asteroids. Let's start with just the huge ones, I guess. Let's see, if set targets not appearing in the priority list will never be targeted. Otherwise they come after all listed targets. Now I guess we will ignore all of those. So if we do that, and then we set the target priorities, well, actually we need to do a little bit more than that, because that is just that one type, and we have other types that we also need to be looking out for. So, like so, and then this one is going to go after all of these. So this is a little bit annoying to set up, but hey, we'll manage. So we'll go ahead and copy paste that to every single gun turret on the ship. We're having an interesting problem with a transport ship that's going to Gliba, because the Bluetooth transport basically got a little bit damaged, and unfortunately it had some pipes destroyed, which means that there is no longer any thruster fuel entering these pipes, and we don't have pipes being sent up from Gliba. So essentially this whole thing is useless. It's not going anywhere. So what I did is I took my personal transport and I named it Blue Chip Transport 2, and that is now taking over this route. But what we really need is we need some more turrets over along all of these edges, because this thing is getting damaged slowly as well, and that is not acceptable. So yeah, that's something I'm going to have to do for every single platform, unfortunately. Sadly, we no longer have use for this thing, because I'm not going to set up all of that production on Gliba, I don't think. especially because of the space platforms needed. So I think we're going to bid this one goodbye. Now we can say we did that, because I've never done that before either. So yeah. With that, the Aquila rocket, I think, yeah, is done. We are just waiting on the research to be finished, but the research is not finishing because, yeah, we're not getting that green science. And we're not getting the green science because we were running low on blue computer chips. And I think, yeah, we do still have some, but it's not great. Like, we're not in a great position here. So, oh, we have plenty of science though. We really need to kick this up a notch. I also don't think we have these available on this planet, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we do have them. Oh, it turns out we do. Perfect. Alright, so this is still running. It's just a matter of time until we can reach Gliba. And with that, I am not entirely sure what to do right now. We are really not in a position where we need to make anything new at the moment. We can do some more problem fixing or upscaling. Actually, I do know what I could do, because we are running low on engines. Let's see the engine input. Yeah, it's completely empty because engines require a lot of metal, right? But these are slow as hell to produce. So this is something we can fix, because we do have an excess of materials over in this direction. And so let's make the engines over here. Yeah. More engines are up and running. So what I basically did is I took some of these iron belts and I split off some iron to make pipes up here. So we have a double production area here for pipes, and we have a double production area here for gear wheels, and all of that is combined with steel coming off of the steel smeltery to make engines over here. Now I tried a new design because, as you can see, we now have beacons here in the middle, and the beacons both have speed module 2, so that we have plus 30% speed times 2, so plus 60%, and all of these have the productivity modules, so they're all quite low level, you know, like it's not super amazing, and technically we should probably go for the better speed modules, but they are super resource intensive, and yeah, I'm not sure, maybe I'm even making them already, but I'm pretty sure that I'm not. I don't think so, no. So yeah, that's basically what I did. So I expanded this production area, as you can see. Before we only had the rails, the steel and the iron plates and the sticks over here. So we just kind of added on, but we still have plenty of resources left on the belt. Like, this is not really emptying out at a really fast rate. And so maybe it would be worthwhile to expand this production. But as you can see, we have a pretty steady production of engines right now, and this is combined with the other engine production facilities that we have. And meanwhile, when you look over at the production area, we are basically entirely full up on engines, and we don't really need more production at this particular moment. So that problem is fixed. However, as you can see, red computer chips are not really doing that much, or not really doing that well. And we have two of these facilities, and both of them are essentially okay, so this is empty, we don't need this anymore. Yeah, this is essentially just working at half speed, because we're just not getting the red engines that or the red chips, sorry, that we need. And yeah, it's a bit problematic. We have all the resources that we need, but it's just producing super slow. But sometimes the green computer chip production is just crawling to a halt, because yeah, it's just sometimes you run out of iron plates. So actually I fixed up some iron plate production as well. Luckily we have some more trains coming in at this particular time, but over down here, the iron plate pickup number 2, I basically almost doubled the production. We had 3 down here, and I now have 5 in total. And so we have these smelting facilities making iron plates. But this particular pickup station has 4 trains coming to pick up iron plates all the time, and so yeah, we don't have a huge amount of these in storage, you know. So technically I guess we could go with even more of these, because also the iron ore is just flowing really nicely. So we might go ahead and do that, because we do need the iron plates, especially with this many trains coming to pick this stuff up. But it is more or less running, so you know, maybe it's also not a problem, and iron plates are kind of like in good supply at the moment, and we are also running low on these chips, because yeah, these are all just being made with the steel furnaces rather than the electric furnaces. And here, as you can see as well, like we are running low on copper ore in some places as well, even though the copper basically constantly keeps flowing, because these trains also keep running around the clock. We have 5 trains bringing copper ore, and there are 3 trains on the way right now. And the next is waiting, but you can see this one takes longer to empty out, and so as a result, yeah, this thing is basically already empty again. You know, the factory almost drained all the resources that we just put in, and then the next one is coming, and this one also, it has an uneven balance. So that is interesting, because yeah, we have different copper outposts. But some of these here are running out as well. So that is something that we could try to fix. We could try putting down some red miners from Volcanus over here as well, because that is going to increase the productivity. But as you can see, this belt here is completely saturated. So what we could also do instead is put in a splitter here, so that they kind of divide these two. Meanwhile, rocket fuel productivity 1 has finished, and it's time for the next research. As you might notice, we also have finished researching Aquila, which is really nice. And then we have worker robot speed, which we could research as well. This is basically an endless research, but maybe in the meantime we might want to try for stack inserters, because that could be interesting. Except we need jelly to make them, so we need to make these on Gleba, I guess. And the transport belt capacity also goes up. Well, that's interesting, from +0 to +1, so then we can have more items on the transport belts. Interesting. Stacking things on layers is also quite cool. Meanwhile, Tesla weapons, these actually also need to be researched. So let's actually start with that one, because that is the best weapon that we can use on Gleba. And right now, Gleba is entirely under control, but it's nice to have these in advance, I think. Alright, and with that, I think we are done for right now, and I'm going to try to get to Aquila in the next episode. So thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this content and wish to see more. And I will see you guys for whatever video I do next.